Hi, fifth graders. So today I'm going to teach you a little bit about inquiry questions. And so our teaching point is going to be when readers want to research a topic, they don't just start off reading the research. Good readers know that when they're going to research a topic, they want to have questions that they are specifically looking to answer when they get started. So knowing that's kind of our teaching point for today, I'm going to show you, I have my iPad here up on the screen, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do using CardFlow. So the first thing that you'll want to do is open up CardFlow. And remember, at any point in this video, if you need to pause it so that you can catch up with what I'm doing, you should do so. You also may want to have your reading notebook open to jot down some notes of important things that you think I might be saying as the as the lesson is going on. All right, so I've opened up CardFlow. Remember last time we got our CardFlow all set up by getting all of our topics that we are going to study as sort of the headers that we could put all of the research that we find next to it. So what I want you to do now is I want you to create a new card, and I've sort of already done this, so I'm going to double click on this card, and I think for our inquiry questions it would be helpful for us if we use the checklist format. So remember, I'll remind you, you can go up to the settings wheel in the upper right hand corner and then change the template to the one with the boxes, which is the one all the way in the bottom row. Okay? And what I've decided to do, as you can kind of see, is I've made it the same color as the card that I'm about to brainstorm some questions for. That way my research board is nice and organized and I have a good idea of what I want to research next. So when researchers think of inquiry questions, they're trying to think about what it is that they're going to research. Because when we go to the articles that we're going to use for our research, we want to be reading with a purpose. Remember, something we've already learned about nonfiction readers is that they read with a purpose. Reading nonfiction just because is good, but when we're doing research, we have a purpose, right? We are trying to answer our driving question, what steps can I take to achieve my dream job? Well, we've already brainstormed all our need to knows. So I'm thinking that I'm going to start with these qualities needed. Now remember, I'm researching being a librarian. So I'm just going to sort of start brainstorming some things that I think a librarian might, some quality or questions that I have about what qualities librarians might need. So a quality about a librarian that I'm thinking about is, do librarians have to work with kids? We know, like Mrs. Clark in our media center, she works with kids, but do they have to? Another quality that I'm thinking about is, do librarians have to like to read? This is something that we should probably know before we think about being a librarian, right? Do librarians need to know let's say, do librarians need to know how to find books in a library? Okay. And so as I'm doing this, I'm sort of just going to do a think aloud here and tell you that I'm starting to think that those questions that I'm asking might also be fitting under skills and knowledge, right? Because we've sort of had a hard time finding the difference between qualities and skills and knowledge. We sort of talked about qualities needed as being more like character traits. So being patient, being calm, being brave, those are character traits, right? And then skills and knowledge, these are something that you can learn. These are things that you could learn by going to school. These are things like, for example, with the library, I'm thinking of like the Dewey Decimal System. So that's sort of making me think that I have another question, but this one fits under skills and knowledge. So I'm actually going to add a new card, and I'm going to change the color to make it fit with skills and knowledge. I believe it's that color. And I want to know something about, do librarians need to know how to use the Dewey Decimal System? So as you can see, one question might lead me to another question, and that's totally okay. It is okay to jump around as you are making your inquiry questions and sort of have an idea about what you want to research, okay? let me go down to education and responsibilities. I have, actually, I think this should just say education. I think that might have been a mistake on my part because we have responsibilities on the other slide. So with education, I have a lot of questions about education. I don't know too much about what type of education librarians need to have. I'm just making a new card for my questions here. So these are the questions that I have. I have a lot of questions about being a librarian. Do librarians need to get a master's degree? Remember, we've talked in class about the difference between an undergraduate degree and a master's degree. Do librarians need to go to a specific school? What program should librarians be in? Other questions about education. Do librarians need to take a test to become a librarian? Okay, so those are some questions I have about education. Now I'm going to stop here and I want you to sort of think about your questions that you have with regards to our 5 required need to knows. Remember, those 5 required need to knows are qualities needed, daily schedule and responsibilities, education, skills and knowledge, and why is this job a good fit for me? They're the ones that are starred. And then I'm also going to have you research some questions about 2 additional topics of your choice. We're going to have to do those main 5 because I think those are the things that will really help us have a good sense of what our job might be. But I want you to pick 2 other things as well. So pros and cons and technical vocabulary are the 2 that I was thinking about when it comes to being a librarian. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to brainstorm, research, think about what are you wondering? What do you want to learn about your job? Your questions are going to lead to other questions. That's a good thing. I want you to aim to have around 5 questions per topic. That's going to really get us started on our research and lead us into a good place. And our next lesson is going to be all about when I open up that article, what am I looking for, right? I'm not just going in blind to a website and just writing down everything I see, right? We want to be researching with something specific in mind. And that is something that good researchers do.